Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, commencing the Wales Ragchew Net. What I'm going to do is I'm going to call for 5 check-ins, so that will take us up to the number 6 mark. I've put myself in the log for once, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to call for number 2 for the Wales Ragchew Net. So if you'd like to be number 2, go ahead with your call sign, name and location.
Alpha 5, Romeo, India Papa, Michael in Lebanon, Tennessee, United States of America, checking into the Wales Ragchew Net.
Yeah, Michael, got you in there. Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo, India Papa. So, if you'd like to be number 3 into the Wales Ragchew Net, go ahead with your call sign, name and location.
Echo 0, India Juliet November, David, Colorado.
Yep, K0 IJN, Dave in Colorado, and yeah, the audio is a bit hot. Well, what I mean by a bit hot is, yeah, it is very powerful and quite bassy and distorted. So, yeah, you might be able to sort that out before we get back round to you. So, if you'd like to be number 4 into the Wales Ragchew Net, go ahead with your call sign, name and location.
Whiskey 0, Victor Oscar Golf, Steve in South Wales. Good morning, everyone. Good evening, I mean, sorry. Good evening here in Britain. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Chris. Back to you.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, yeah, got you in the log there, Steve. And for anybody watching the live stream thinking, hang on, that call sign's wrong, but it is V.O.G. He has got the full call, but the DMR hasn't changed, or he hasn't changed it yet. Hi. So if you'd like to be number 5 into the Wales Ragchew Net, go ahead with your call sign, name and location.
G0 EUZ, Rod in Cambridge.
Yep, G0 EZ, Rod in Cambridge, got you there. So, if you'd like to be number 6 into the Wales Ragchew Net, go ahead with your call sign, name and location.
M0XDR, Northwich.
Yep, M0XDR, Northwich, Darryl there. Got you in the log, right? Right, what I'm going to do is I said I would pass it round the list. We pull the 5 check-ins in. We have done it on the first round now, so it's all good. So after Darryl, we will actually call for some more check-ins. So we go around to Michael, Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo, India Papa. And of course, yeah, I was presenting your Thanksgiving, and I can present it now as well. Over to you there, Michael.
Thank you very much, Chris. This is Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa, from a very, very cool Lebanon, Tennessee in the United States of America. Started out the day at about a negative 5 degrees Celsius, and we're cooking all the way up today right now at about 0, actually about 1 degree under 0 Celsius. And so winter has finally hit here. Had quite a bit of frost this morning. Thursday was our Thanksgiving, where the Pilgrims sat down with the Indians after their first year in the United States and had a feast. And we celebrate that on the last Thursday of November. And you can tell by the video that Chris has played, we had quite a bit of food, and everybody came away very full. If you didn't, it was your own fault. And with that, I'll turn it back to you, Chris. Looking forward to a great net today. Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Thanks very much there, Michael. So we'll go over to David. Hopefully, yep, he's not so loud. K0 IJN.
Okay, K0IJN. How's my level now, Chris? Is that acceptable, do you think?
Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, it's still a little bit hot my side, a bit muffled, but you are clear. Yeah, if you could take it down maybe 2 notches, and yeah, you might be okay.
Okay. I've taken it down a little bit. How's that sounding?
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, yep, I'm quite comfortable with that. And of course, yeah, we'll get audio reports on the way round as well, but over to you there, David, K0IJN, take the mic.
Okay, sorry about that. Well, I'm glad we got that straightened out. K0IJN here in Colorado Springs, Colorado. And it is a sunny 40 degrees Fahrenheit. I guess that's about 4 or 5 degrees Celsius. And it's about 12:36 p.m. I know it's evening there and dark. Anyway, I've been on 10 years working on Vera AC, keyboard digital mode. And it is wide open on 10 years. I mean, I'm getting... I was getting Croatia. I got to connect with the Canary Islands, and I'm seeing stations from New Zealand popping up, and all over the country as well. So 10 years is just cooking there. So anyway, just for the FYI, if you've got 10 years, so it's really looking good. Anyway, been playing with radio here quite a bit lately. Since our cold weather has hit, I don't have all the side gigs that I was doing. So I've been back in the radio now, doing whatever I can on it, and having a lot of fun. So anyway, not doing much this afternoon, and maybe my wife cooked a big old turkey. Seems to be the thing to do for Thanksgiving here. It's an American thing, of course, but we like to stuff ourselves and just become total gluttons. So anyway, I took myself to the gym yesterday for penance and tortured myself real well. So hopefully I'll be forgiven for that sin. Anyway, back to you, Chris, K0IJN.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, thanks very much there, David, and yeah, nice to know, yeah, you're celebrating Colorado Springs? No, Thanksgiving. There's me reading the log at the same time. Yeah, it's all good. So we're going to go over to GW5 VOG. Over to you there, Steve.
GW5 VOG /2W0 VOG returning. I don't know if you recall this, but in the license changes, you can now in the UK put whatever you want after as a suffix after your call sign. So you could put W.D.R.G, Chris, if you want to, and or you can put a whole sentence, I think. Right. Yes, I saw the video showing your Thanksgiving feast, Michael. I think perhaps banquet is a better description. There was a lot of food. Seemed to be a huge amount of people. Perhaps I couldn't see them all, but that was a lot of food. Very good. And of course, David going to the gym the day after. That's a normal reaction, isn't it, when you have too much to eat? We tend to overeat in the UK at Christmas, and I've actually been on a diet about the last 4 weeks, trying to get my weight down a bit to counter the excess that I'll put on over Christmas. So there we are. Also, I think David mentioned 10 meters. I've been on that the last couple of days. It's been mad. It's been fantastic. I've only been doing ST8 on it, but wide open all around the world at sort of 5 o'clock this afternoon and yesterday afternoon. So anyway, with that, I'll return to the next controller, M7CCS from GW5EOG. Over to you, Chris.
Yeah, Mike 7 Charlie Sierra. Well, I've addressed the audio levels a little bit on the live stream, and of course, yeah, Donna commented and said they couldn't hear the volume, so I've addressed them, and of course, yeah, I've increased them. Whether it's actually increasing everything, I'm not too sure, but I'm just going into all the same profiles and doing the best I can. So I think I've gone a lot louder now, so I think it is working a little bit better for me. So I will say hello to Kilo Fox Oscar Alpha X-Ray Golf, John. So of course he's in the Echolink there as well, so I'll have to get him in the log. But we are going to go round now to G0EZ. Rod, round to you there.
G0EZ. Well, a very good evening to everybody, and a good morning or afternoon to our stateside friends. Yes, Michael, that really did look like a very appetising spread for Thanksgiving. And yeah, it's a pity we don't celebrate it at all. Although we do have, or we used to have, a harvest festival in sort of October, November. I don't recall it being a big thing anymore. Although that was more of a churchy thing, where you decorate the church with farm produce, etc. But there we go. So yes, we're very shortly into December, and then I believe Christmas will start in earnest. There's plenty of people got decorations and trees up already, and I noticed yesterday I was out. I had to go and have a blood test, and there was a lot of people buying Christmas trees. And where I go for the blood test is actually a public car park, a very large park and ride. Normally where I go for the blood test, that's all that's there, is people going for the blood test. But because it was obviously a very, very busy Friday, Black Friday presumably, there were shoppers parked all over the place. So really, you know, you struggle getting a parking spot for the blood test, you know, and the board, which is like an LED board, you couldn't see one half of it. I don't know why. And well, it's the sun really, but after a while it did become clear. But my number was well after that. I must have been there 2 hours. And then it took me an hour to get home because there was accidents all around me. So back to you, Chris. M7CCS, G0EZ.
2E0VWJ listening.
Yeah, Mike 7 Charlie Sierra, got you there, James. So yeah, I've got to remember what the call sign was, but yeah, I'll get you to call it again in a bit. And yeah, I think it's 2E0VWJ, isn't it? So 2E0VWJ, and I know that it's James. And yeah, it's coming up. It's not come up, so I might have put a typo in there. Probably put an O instead of a 0, but I will sort that out. What I'm going to do now is a shame we don't celebrate it here, Rod, but of course, it'd be like having 2 Christmases, really, wouldn't it? We're going to go round to Daryl on cqnorthwest, M0XDR, of course, it's his system that provides the audio for the live stream, by me capturing the audio. So, over to you there, Daryl, M0XDR. Okay, there was nothing heard there from Daryl, but we'll try and give him a call on the next one. Simon is listening. Via the Echolink, we have got Kilo Fox Oscar Alpha X-Ray Golf via MB6IPG John in Liberty, Missouri, United States. Over to you there, John, if you'd like to participate in the Ragchew. You didn't run away when I called your call sign out. Over to you there.
This is Kilo Foxtrot 0, Alpha X-Ray Golf. John in Liberty, Missouri, just north of Kansas City, right in the middle of Great America. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks John, for the brief over there, and of course, nice to hear you there. You're coming into the Wales Ragchew Net, and of course it's also being streamed live on YouTube as well. What I'm going to do is I am going to put it round to 20VWJ, or I'm probably getting it wrong, James, actually I can have a look, 20VWJ. So, he comes up as a 0 because he doesn't have a DMR ID. But it is James, and I'm guessing it might be from his narrowboat. Over to you there, James.
VWJ, the name's James, and good evening all. No, I'm back at home. It's quite funny, it makes me laugh because no one ever really knows where I am. I sort of flip backwards and forwards, and it's usually wrong wherever I am. But anyway, there you go, makes me laugh. Yeah, I'm back home, and it was a bit of a quick visit, just sorting a few little jobs out there on the boat. Mainly after having a test, it's a bit like an MOT. It's every 4 years they sort of do check the gas and fire extinguishers and lots of safety stuff and that. It wasn't quite as in-depth as I thought. It's the first one I've done with that boat, so you sort of get a bit nervous, you're not sure what to expect. But it was a case of, I took all the radios out and tidied stuff up, so it was a case of like having a bit of time putting it back to normal. But and the Thanksgiving, that's quite an interesting one because it was only really from hearing the Americans mention it on the radio. I always thought it was a sort of an additional Christmas celebration. I didn't realise it was actually nothing to do with Christmas particularly. But there you go, you learn a lot. I'm back at home QTH in the Vale of Evesham in Worcestershire, which is about 30 south of Birmingham. So I'll put it back, Chris, from 20VWJ.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Thanks very much there, James. And it's all good there. I'm going to nag you to apply for a DMR ID. Hi. And then when you come through the system, you won't come through as a 0. It is on the chip dashboard anyway, as I call it. Yeah, I've had apologies from Daryl for missing there. I will get them up on the screen as soon as possible. So, right, we're going to see if NDAFTers want to join us. N6 UTC.
CCS from N6 UTC. Hello, Chris, everybody. I was actually keying up through Amcon, but apparently that link is not as stable as I hope to be so now on WiresX. Let me put it back to you, make sure I'm getting through, because my radio seems to be acting up. I'm sorry, Chris, back to you.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Yep, not a problem there. Of course, yeah, I think you're via the WiresX now anyway. Alright, I am down to the bottom of the list, so I will get Daryl's barbecue food up on the barbecue pictures up on the screen. It's now changed because I did just screenshot it so I could get it up there. But I might not be able to get it up there onto the live stream quick enough. So what I'm going to do is we're going to see if anybody else is on the side and would like to check in to the Wales Ragchew Net. If you would, go ahead with your call sign, name and location. And an over.
M0XDR in Northwest, Daryl. Yeah, cheers, Chris. It's just sent me some pictures. Yeah, I can give you an over now. Actually, I've just been relegated back outside to the barbecue because we've got one guest that likes his steaks well done. I don't know what the opinion is on that, but we've got 3 people that like medium rare, and we've got one guy that wants well done. So we're, yeah, I've never done a well done steak before, but I'm back out here and just giving it another go. Just giving it a little bit more, Chris. So, yeah, back to you. You can tell us whether I can carry on with the over or whether you want to, well, it's your net, mate. So, you tell me what you want to do, M0XDR.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, you missed the over, but you redeemed yourself. I didn't actually even change it to a missed call either. So it is all good there, and yeah, you can continue the over there. I'm just still trying to get some screenshots in, and of course, yeah, then hopefully we'll be able to actually present your food there. So what I'm going to do, I'll put it back over to you there, Daryl. M0XDR by the barbecue.
M7CCS, yeah. I'll try and get a selfie in actually, so we can get that one on the live stream. There we go. We get that with the old Napoleon in the background with the FT1D. So yeah, lovely to join the net this evening. Much appreciated. And cheers for persevering with us there, Chris. And a lovely evening to everybody else as well. Hope you're having a great weekend. It's been one of them where I'm really pleased for the weekend to actually have started. Yeah, I've got a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old, so I'm just, becoming accustomed with that sort of thing. And when you start to appreciate your weekends a lot more when you have young kids. So yeah, and we've got some guests over this evening, hence the barbecue in the winter. But we've got a nice covered area in at the back of the house, and our village has just done the lights this evening. So we've had a brass band playing from the local primary school, and they've turned on the Christmas tree in the village square. So we've been down there this evening, and yeah, the girls are on the prosecco, and the men are on the beers. So yeah, I'm just sorting out the steaks, and we've got some nice potatoes and some broccoli and everything. So yeah, I'm feeling quite upbeat all around, to be honest with you. Yeah, lovely to join in and just listen on the side of everybody and what everybody's been saying, and yeah, that's about it really, to be honest with you. I'm going to turn these over now, and yeah, this is it is a gas barbecue, but you know what I mean. It's 2024, and it's it's just easier, isn't it, if you know what I'm saying? M0XDR. Back to you, Chris. M7CCS M0XDR in the group.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, and of course, yeah, it takes a lot of effort to do it that fast, but of course, yeah, get a selfie up there on the screen as well as the food there. Of course, Michael had sent his in advance, so yeah, it made it all good there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and fix something. So I'm going to put the blue curtain back. I'm going to put that back up. So we might as well talk about that, the GB3WW new antenna. So, of course, yep, I've been notified by Kev, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask if anybody would like to join in with the Wales Ragchew Net. If you would, go ahead with your call sign, name and location. And over.
Evening, W.D.R.G at home, ready to call into the net.
Yeah, MW0GSR, Simon there, I've got you. Yeah, the log's broken there. At number 11, Pablo needs to sort that out, because I'm not sure whether just copy and pasting the code will fix it. But yeah, it's all good. Take your over away there, Simon. Over to you, MW0GSR. Just got home, you were listening via YouTube. And I've just realised why it's messed up there. All I need to do is actually just reinstate you, because you were listening via YouTube. You're now coming back into the system. Over to you there, Simon.
Yeah, QSL, Chris, I did notice that. But, yeah, good evening, 1-0. Sorry to be late on parade. I'm working tonight. It's the start of the silly season. Yeah, so season's greetings. I don't want to be the first to do that. But we've got to say big season's greetings to our friends over there in the USA. I'm sure everybody's been eating lots and lots this week. While we're all talking through, I was intrigued by the Daniel there with his barbecue. It's brilliant for this time of year. I've just poured water into a pot noodle, which is a British staple diet of certain people like myself who is on call and has missed dinner. So I've got myself some mini cheddars and a pot noodle, and that's going to be my dinner to this evening, because at any moment I've got this horrible feeling I'm going to be heading off out again. Could be anywhere in Wales, to be honest, but it's all good fun. But yeah, good to see the system all working okay. Seems to be. I'm currently accessing via DMR into the local gateway here. So there you go, Chris. I'll pass it back to you. Good to hear everybody.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Thanks very much there, Simon. So yeah, good to get you on. So right, I will call for number 11 again. So if you'd like to join the Wales Ragchew Net, go ahead with your call sign, name and location, and an over. Okay, nothing heard, so we go to the top of the list, which is me. Hi. But of course, yeah, for those that are watching, of course, I have got some little adjustments to do. But of course, yeah, a bit of a topic. Let's open up. I found this floating around Facebook today, so if I open the curtains, there it is. And it's a Yaesu FTM 150R. As well in the States, and of course, yeah, I've managed to find it on Yaesu.com as well. So of course, it's got a little picture next to it, but just to present some of the information on the screen there about that radio. Apparently, it does do cross mode. People are saying on the old Facebook as well, and of course, they are available in the UK. So other retailers are available, but that's just a Google hit there. Top of the log. Over to you there, Michael.
Thank you, Chris. It's Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa. That's a nice looking radio you got there. Very interesting. I may have to go over and look that one up. But as far as the pictures, I guess the only ones I had on my phone at that point in time were of the food. My daughter-in-law took a bunch of pictures of all the people that were there. We had about 33 to 34 people there. They set up 3 long tables and then 1 short table to accommodate all those people. And a couple of them ended up having come from out of state, so they were a little late getting to the feast. So, like I say, about 33, 34 people were served and ate, and the food was excellent. My son smoked a ham, and he also smoked a turkey, and then he roasted a turkey. I think it was about 23, 24 pounds of meat, plus all the side items. Everybody was asked to bring a side item, plus desserts. My daughter-in-law made a wonderful pecan pie cheesecake. My new favorite cheesecake all the way around. She made it last year, made it again this year because I told her how much I liked it. She also made an apple crumb cheesecake, which was fantastic as well. Many desserts, and we're going to my shopping online. So things are going well. I think I've got all my shopping done now. So I may be a little ahead of the curve as far as I know. Just got to wrap one. And with that, I'll turn it back to you, Chris. Good to hear everybody on the net today. Sounds fantastic. Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo and you, Papa.
Yeah, Mike 7 Charlie Sierra. Thanks very much there, Michael. And of course, yeah, you got a feature there. Daryl got a feature there. Of course, his radio he's doing the barbecue there. It's pretty dark here, so yeah, he's got some good floodlights. So, right, we go round now to KE0 IJN David in Colorado Springs.
Well, thank you, Chris. KE0IJN here. I think maybe we didn't do a lot for Christmas. I guess we do a family thing on Thanksgiving, and each part of the family kind of splits up and does their own thing for Christmas. We don't do any shopping. We've decided as a family we're not exchanging gifts anymore, and that sure reduces a lot of stress of having to deal with that, and I like it, because I hate shopping. But of course, we sometimes give each other cookies or something like that, or something, of that nature, or, sweets or whatever, or candies or nuts or whatever. And sometimes get some for the kids, of course, the grandkids. Right, but other than that, we're kind of low key on it. I've got a tiny little artificial tree that I put up. It's only about 2-3 feet high or something like that. And I put up some outdoor lights, just one string. So I have usually a pretty low stress holiday. The only thing I don't like is the traffic. For some reason, everybody is out there shopping and whatnot, and it's just crazy with the traffic situation in this town. It's just getting worse and worse all the time. I had a little accident in the parking lot the other day. I was backing up, and this lady had not parked, but pulled up right behind me, and I couldn't see her with my van. The windows were too high, so I petted her car a little bit. Oh well, nobody got hurt or anything like that, but hopefully my insurance won't go up or anything. I'm hoping anyway. It might, who knows. It's already high enough, oh boy. Anyway, here's my story, sticking to it. Back to you, Chris, K0IJM.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, yeah, we're envious because you get to celebrate twice, but also not so envious because it makes it a little bit cheaper. I suppose we're only celebrating once. Well, then again, let's throw it out there, holidays. So of course, yeah, we have Easter where we've got the Easter egg, apparently the Easter bunny. It is also a Christian kind of thing, I think. So yeah, Easter, Christmas, of course we get our birthdays, but of course, yeah, celebrations there. Might have missed a couple out. But we go round to GW5 VOG. Steve, round to you there.
GW5 VOG returning. Yes, certainly Thanksgiving is obviously excited everyone over there in the USA because we've got quite a few of you on the net tonight. I think it's got to be a record. Well, while I've been listening anyway, I think I counted 5. So good evening to everybody across the pond. It's hands across the sea tonight. So that's all good. Yeah, Michael, I'm glad you explained the numbers for the feast on Thanksgiving because it did look rather a lot of food for the number of people I could see. But 30 to 40, then it's understandable. But it does look very appetizing. Perhaps we'll have to get together in the W.D.R.G and fly over for next year and come and see you. Yeah, Daryl, still on the subject of feasting. I was wondering, amazing having a barbecue this time of year in the weather that we've got now in the UK. But you did explain all that. It's a gas barbecue and you're undercover there. And from what you said, I think maybe a lot of the people are actually going indoors to eat the food. So that sounds great. Yeah, so with that, I'll pass back to the net controller, Chris, M7CCS from GW5 VOG. Over to you, Chris.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Yeah, it is good to just get a good group on as well, isn't it? Of course, it's all good. I'm reading Donna's comment on YouTube there. We had this conversation last year, but yeah, it's all good there. Right, I've got to figure out where we were. So it was GW5 VOG. We're going to go round to Rod, G0 EUZ.
G0UZ. Back to the group, yes. Good evening to Daryl and to Simon. Nice to hear you on. And yeah, bad luck, David, on the parking lot bump. That's most unfortunate, but I know exactly where you're at. I mean, I have a 4-wheel drive truck, and yeah, you can't always see back. But I do have a camera low down. That looks specifically at my tow bar for tagging on the caravan, but it does see where you are, so it's not so bad. Yeah, so now then, complete change of subject, of course, is I've had an email from Microsoft to say that Windows 10 is no longer being supported from next month. Now, the computers that I have, I've tried, doing an update to Windows 11, and of course they've come back and said that the computer's not suitable. But I wonder if anybody knows whether it is still possible to upgrade or update to Windows 11 without buying a new computer, which I don't really want to do. I do have a Windows 11 computer, but it's doing one job in particular. And the other one, Windows 10, is doing most of the work. And of course, my laptop is a Windows 10, and that's doing most of the work. So I wonder where we're going. Although I do recall when we moved from when we lost Windows 7, I carried on using it for quite some time. So back to you, Chris. Wonder if there's anybody got any comments on that. M7CCS G0, he used it.
Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Wow, I wish I'd never joined it on the one PC. So the PC that I use for the live stream and the gateway is a Windows 10 machine, but it keeps trying to upgrade to a Windows 11 because it used to be part of something called the Windows Insider program. Now, if you join the Windows Insider program, and then of course, yeah, just join it with your Microsoft account. By joining that, enable that on the updates, and of course there is, I can't remember which channel it is, but you can actually you can select them, and there is a channel that will make the PC go up to Windows 11 in a capable mode. So yeah, it can be done, Rod. So we're going to go round to Daryl now, M0XDR. Round to you there.
XDR, yeah, cheers, Chris. Yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? I've got one machine that's a 1950X Threadripper machine that I built in 2017. That was like a proper high-performance workstation, and that was on Windows 10. And I joined the Windows Insider program because I'm a Windows developer, so I've got an app in the Microsoft Store actually, which is for Philips Hue light bulbs called Hue Dynamic, and that was the machine I used to develop that on. And yeah, it's a bit of a beast of a machine, but it was, once you're on the Insider program, it was kind of stuck on that. And obviously there was additional requirements for Windows 11, like the Trusted Platform module, TPM2, and officially the 1950X CPU, the Threadripper, was not supported on Windows 11, but on the Insider program it was, so that's why I got involved with the Insider program. And yeah, and that's been going for a while, but it's stuck on 2022 version of Windows 11. It won't go any further than that without a reinstall of Windows from scratch. So, but whereas my other machines have upgraded from Windows 10 to Windows 11 without the Insider program, they've carried on going, but they've actually officially supported all of the hardware requirements, you know, like a TPM2 module and whatnot. On, you know, like I've got a Surface Book 3 and a couple of other laptops that they've updated fine. And my gaming machine on the living room, I've got like a home theatre stroke gaming machine in the living room. It's got a beastie NVIDIA graphics card in. That's on the latest Windows 11, and it is a massive difference to Windows 10. Functionally, the thing that frustrates me the most is the start menu, and the fact that the search still doesn't work properly, you know, which is annoying because the simplicity of the, you know, going back to Windows 95 and onwards, the whole all programs and the start menu and whatnot, you know, you'd be able to find what you want. They seem to have relied very much on the search on the start menu now. That doesn't really work particularly well, but for a gaming machine that I have in the living room, it's fantastic keeping that up to date because, you know, it supports like variable refresh rate on the, I've got like an OLED LG TV and all of that, and that works really well for playing games. But, you know, purely from an IT perspective, it's, you know, the jury's out on that one. So, yeah. Oh, no. Is that really the time already? Apologies, Chris. Back to you. I didn't realise it'd go that quickly.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, yep, the 3 minutes when you're talking there, and of course you've got the timeout as well. We've changed the because you could just about see ad-free in there. But yeah, I thought it was quite comical, and I saved it until it needed to be pressed. So that's now been pressed, and of course, yeah, we're going to present the screen, and we are going to present Simon's dinner, MW0GSR. You can tell he's on the fly and on call, because here's his dinner. So, yep, over to you there, Simon, MW0GSR.
M7CCS, MW0GSR, how embarrassing. I was in the W.D.R.G group, but there you go. Yeah, it's just a day in the life of somebody on call. Really interesting stuff, Daniel. Yeah, I agree. From my gateway and links and all the bridges to the system or whatever, they're all on Windows 10, everything. So, obviously, the updates and whatever, just makes things, once you just stop the automatic updating, and things just start getting a bit more vulnerable as time goes on. So yeah, they're still operational, and they still will be. I have looked into it myself as well, and it's about the certification of the processor, and it's just not supported, is it? So it's a shame, but either way, it is what it is. But my Windows 11 laptop, that's what I use mainly for my personal use, but everything else is pretty much Windows 10, even for all my FTX and my HF stuff, everything, it's all there. So I understand that. But all good stuff, yeah. So what am I going to say? That's right, before I end up getting pulled away or something. Harping on about Echolink and stuff again from last week. Just to note that we did some tests over the week, and all really good. The only thing is if you're accessing via DStar, the analog to digital crossover isn't red hot, let's be brutally honest. From the DMR and C4FM point of view, it's all working great. But the DStar is a little bit scratchy. It's perfectly readable, but just a bit scratchy. But there you go. Oh, there it is. I've just seen it pop up, Chris. Thank you very much. But yeah, all good stuff. Good to be on. Thanksgiving. I've already had a mince pie. I was at a customer's house earlier on, a lovely little old dear, and I'm guessing she has a lot of people turn up at her house because she had a plate by the door. Please take a mince pie with you. And of course, I can't say no, can I? But I do like a good mince pie. I'm not sure. Here's a question for Michael and everybody else. In the States, do you know what a mince pie is? I'm guessing you do. I might just be naive. Anyway, back to you, Chris.
Yeah, Mike 7 Charlie Sierra, there he goes. Do you know what a mince pie is? So yeah, I'm trying to send a better picture of our food. So of course I'm going to present our food. I'm going to try. Hopefully it is there. Yep, it is there. So we go to the present screen, and of course we will open the curtain. And that is what's in the slow cooker turns into a healthy kebab. So, right, what we're going to do now is we're going to go round to John in Liberty, Missouri. Kilo Fox. Okay, I've just looked down into the Echolink and he's not there anymore, unfortunately. So we will go to James, 2E0, Victor, Whiskey, Juliet. Round to you there, James.
VWJ, DWJ returning in the group. Yes, the spies. I did think also is it it'd be interesting to hear whether the mince pies in the States. I'm not sure about that one. Could be interesting to find out. But yeah, it's there was a station there saying about not buying presents and stuff, and I've just did a couple of people I sort of fake buy me presents, and I never know what to get. So this year I decided to actually do some cooking. I think I haven't done it yet, apart from the Christmas cake. That's sort of getting ready for it to, it's maturing, getting ready to have the marzipan put on, and do a bit of cooking. So I thought, well, I'll make them a tin of a selection of cake, because I'm sure that'll go down quite well. And people don't make cake that much themselves, so they might appreciate something that's been a bit homemade. And yeah, the barbecue is that's a good going. That is in this weather. I've got a neighbour that a professional barbecuer, should we say. I think he only takes January off. And the steak bit I picked up on when he said about cooking it, well done. That reminds me of times when I was a lot younger and I worked in a kitchen, and the chef was a bit hot-headed, and he got very angry when people asked for a well-done steak. He often referred to it as just being burned. So yeah, that raised a smile there. But well done to that man doing the barbecue there. So yeah, I'd be curious to know whether they have mince pies in America. But I think what they confuse them, turning it the other way around, is we call ground beef mince beef, and I think that does make things complicated, particularly when we refer to a mince pie as something that's full of fruit. I won't hold it, I'll pass it back, Chris. It would be interesting to know about the mince pies from 2E0 VWJ.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, I'll go round to the next person. He's already been chatting in W.D.R.G. And, yeah, he knows what a mince pie is. But, of course, yeah, he's originally from North Wales. So we'll go round to N6 UTC, and then we'll be calling to see if anybody would like to check into the Wales Ragchew Net. Over to you there, NDAF N6 UTC.
Hello, Chris, N6 UTC here. And to answer Simon's question, as I'm in the States, I know what a mince pie is. My wife knows what a mince pie is. My old place of employment knew what mince pies were because I used to take them in. My current place of employment, I haven't done that yet. Just quickly here. It's a long weekend here, so it was off Thursday, off Friday, as we've all been talking about. I was very thankful for the 2 days off. That's the important part. So yesterday, the missus and I took a trip out to the Mojave National Preserve, and we went to the old Kelso Railway Depot, which is an old railway switching area where some of the the original railway used to come in the late 19th century, and it was kind of abandoned in the mid-50s. So went there. It's in grid square Delta Mike 25, so I needed to operate satellites from that grid square towards my views. Equipment, and I did make a handful of HF contacts to supplement. I needed the 10 QSOs. I think I got 14, so I was able to operate that. And it's kind of become a tradition for me and the missus. On the day after the Thursday Thanksgiving, we head out somewhere, out into the desert or the middle of nowhere. So yeah, where else? And I'm up to 65 countries now on in my DXCC list from Indioska 72. So thanks to GSR for that one. Back to you, Chris. N6 UTC.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Thanks very much there, Enda. And of course, yeah, we did put onto the live stream mince pies there. Although I did actually find minced beef and onion pie before I presented the screen there. What I'm going to do is we're going to see if we can get anybody and see if anybody else would like to check in to the Wales Ragchew Net. If you would, go ahead with your call sign, name and location, and an over.
This is Victor Papa 2 Victor stroke Golf 7 Echo Kilo Victor Papa 2 Victor stroke Golf 7 Echo Mike Kilo QSL.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie. I'm going to blame Michael on that one because of the pictures that you forwarded to me. But, of course, yeah, it is their version of the mince pie. Yeah, I'm forwarding on so that I can actually get them up onto the screen as well. Of course, yeah, the last station there via cqnorthwest. If you could go ahead with the call sign again and your over, you can have an over. Yeah, if you go ahead with your over and the call sign, and I'll get it in the log there. When I get a cqnorthwest one come across, all I get on my dashboard is M0NWX. Over to you there.
Okay, it's Victor Papa 2 Victor stroke Golf 7 Echo Mike Kilo in the British Virgin Islands QSL.
Yep, I didn't quite get it there, but of course, yeah, it's all good there. Yeah, you just go ahead with your over there. So I've got Victor Papa 2. I think that was Golf. Stroke Golf 7 Mike 0. Yeah, that's a mouthful for me, and my log ain't gonna recognise that one. I've probably still got it wrong. But I'll put it round to you there. I didn't quite catch the personal either. Over to you there.
Okay, it's Victor Papa 2 Victor stroke Golf 7 Echo Mike Kilo. I repeat, Victor Papa 2 Victor stroke Golf 7 Echo Mike Kilo, and the location is the British Virgin Islands. And the name here is Darren Delta Alpha Romeo Echo November QSL.
Yep, thanks very much there, Darren. And yeah, I've got that now. Got you into the log. Right, we'll see if anybody else would like to check in. Go ahead with your call sign, name and location for the Wales Ragchew Net. Okay, nothing heard. So we will go up to the top of the list. We will go to Michael, Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa. Over to you there, Michael.
Thank you, Chris. This is Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa. And yes, I do feel I have an idea, and we can consume several mincemeat pies. My father-in-law, they used to be one of the traditional pies that he made at both Thanksgiving and Christmas to any gatherings. He would make a mincemeat pie. I've also heard them called Japanese fruit pies, and interchangeable with the contents of each one of the pies. So I'm thinking that is what you've got, and it is confusing that when you look into mincemeat, it's got ground hamburger more or less. So that could be a confusing kind of thing. But I think I pretty much got it down pat as far as food goes, because I am a consumer of food. Now that the feast that Simon was eating looked like a single man's the breakfast or lunch or dinner. But it's good to see that. I was just looking at while I was waiting when I turned around, I was looking at Chris's radio. Very nice looking radio there, Chris. I'm liking that FT150. Very sharp looking radio. So with that, I guess I'll turn it back to you. Good to hear from you, Rod, and good to hear from you, Stephen. Hope everybody's doing great this weekend. And with that, I'll turn it back to you, Chris. Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo Indy Papa.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Thanks very much there, Michael. Of course, I am still presenting your version of the mince pie there. So I've got that. But I've got another picture somewhere. Oh, here we go. Of course, we've got M0XDR Darryl. There's the XYR birthday duties, or it might not be the XYR, but birthday duties there. What we're going to do now is we're going to go to the next in the list, and the next in the list is K0IJ.
Chris, I think I got a pretty good idea what mince pie is, although I've never had one or tried it. It sounds good. My wife is German. She likes to make the stuff called stolen bread. It's not quite fruit cake. It's more of a bread, I guess, kind of a sweet bread. It's got nuts and a little bit of candy type fruit in it, and then it's coated with sugar, or powdered sugar on the outside. It's awful good. I do like it, and I'm looking forward to it this holiday season. I'm sure she'll probably make a batch of that stuff, or a few of them. She also makes this cheesecake. German cheesecake is a little different than American cheesecake. It's not a custard. It's more of a bread-type cheesecake. It's made with ricotta cheese and a few other types of things like that. So it is a little bit creamy, kind of like a creamy bread. But German cheesecake is definitely different, but very good as well. But anyway, I made some pumpkin pie a little bit ago. It came out a little spicy. I was following this recipe, and it had half a teaspoon of ginger and half a teaspoon of cloves in it. And it came out very spicy, a little too spicy, I think. But, it's edible, it's good, and everything. It's just spicy. So sometimes you have to try a couple different recipes to get one you like. Anyway, there's some food type food stuff for you there. I don't know, it's getting too cold to barbecue here as winter comes on, although we do have our nice days, we can sometimes do that. But we'll probably be shut down on the barbecuing situation. I like to do that. But I'll be looking, I used to be a chef, and one of my specialties was chilies, soups, and stews. I do really good on those. So I'll be making batches of that stuff for the winter. So anyway, back to you, Chris. K0IJ.
Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. So we've discovered that they know what a mince pie is. So we go around to Steve now, GW5VOG. He's probably going to tell me that he gets Marks and Spencer specially selected ones. Hi. Over to you there, Steve.
GW5VOG returning. Thank you, Chris. I have had Marks and Spencer mince pie in the past, but we get a weekly delivery from Sainsbury's now, so we don't go to Marks and Spencer's actually as much as we used to. We certainly don't go there every week, and we get Sainsbury's mince. I did read online a survey by a newspaper who had bought and consumed every mince pie from every supermarket, and the one that came out top was a Tesco called a Merry Mince Pie, and it was priced at $1.25, which was an Aldi price match. So that's your consumer information for mince pies for the night. History of mince pies. Actually, Going back to the days before refrigeration, meat had to be preserved somehow, and you can smoke it, you can dry it, and you can salt it. I'm sure there's probably other ways to do it as well, but a good preservative is sugar. So people started to sweet meat pies, taking light mincemeat and preserving it by adding a lot of sugar and sugary fruit and that sort of thing to it. But eventually they realised that it really enhanced the flavour of the meat, I think, and they just got rid of the meat in the end and just kept the savoury fruit, sugary bits and everything, and that's our mince pie. So that's why it's called a mince, because it did once have mince meat in, but doesn't now. I was going to answer the question about USA by saying no, because I do a Zoom meeting with my local radio club on a Friday night, and we have 2 people who come on every week from Oregon, Oregonians, and they didn't know what a mince pie was, so but it seems like maybe few of you over there have got a rough idea of what it is. I did see a stolen bread in not long ago, but I've never actually eaten it. It looks a bit dry to me, because of course we have Christmas cake, which is extremely moist, very, very rich fruit cake, topped with icing. So there you are, that's my sort of food porn for the night. Back to you, Chris M7CCS and GW5VOG.
7 Charlie Sierra here. Other supermarkets are available. So next we're going to go around to Ragchew G0EZ and talk about the stolen, as it's called. Yeah, you can get it in Aldi. That's where I first discovered it. Hi. So and Lidl.
G0EZ. Could be right back. Well, yeah. I've definitely had stolen bread from Aldi and Lidl, which are both German supermarkets, aren't they? Original. Of course, they're all over the world now. But yeah, I agree with you, Steve. I like Sainsbury's mince pies. They're really nice. But I think the best of the bought ones come from Greggs. I like them. So unfortunately, there isn't many Greggs around here at the moment. Although I believe they're going to start doing it in a local petrol station. Not too local, mind. It's not really close, but there we go. Anyway, enough of that. Yeah, thanks everybody for the information on the Insider program. I shall look into that and see where we can go with that. So yeah, as regards 10 meters, I don't usually get on around about 5 or 6 o'clock. It's just I'm always busy with something else by then. But I have been on FT8 during the week, and not really had a lot of luck. There's been plenty of stations on, not many that I hadn't, or not many countries that I hadn't worked. But obviously a lot of stations that I tried to work, in countries that I have already worked, and not done much good either. I'm not sure if I didn't get any replies at all in 2 days, which is most annoying. Anyway, so back to you, Chris. M7CCS G0EZ.
Yeah, Mike 7 Charlie Sierra. Thanks very much there, Rod. So, yeah, of course, I'm sure that either ITV or BBC or whoever, or Channel 4, they're going to make a TV program and it's going to be, what's the best mince pie in from whatever supermarket they normally do coming up to this time of year. And of course all the best Christmas presents and all that sort of thing. So we're going to go round to Daryl now, whose XYR was on the screen, I think. It was a birthday girl on the screen that he'd sent in the inbox. Over to you there, Daryl, M0XDR. Okay, he's probably listening on the live stream. Hi. I'll give another call for M0XDR. Okay, nothing heard, so we'll put it round to Simon, MW0GSR.
Well, thank you very much, Chris. That was a busy old round there. I have had a phone call during the time, and a pub in Oswestry Way have got themselves a band on, and they're using smoke machines. Ah, dear. Bread and butter stuff, I suppose. All the alarms are going off, and the band has been pretty much thrown out. There you go. Anyway, all dealt with. Rod, you took some words out of my mouth there. We're very, very lucky. Yesterday at 7:30 a.m. in the morning, we had, in Porthmadog, a brand spanking new Greggs open. And yes, I was there at 8 o'clock getting a coffee. My free coffee, because I registered with the app. It's all kicking off. I walked in there today trying to get myself a mince pie because they're renowned for them. And guess what? All sold out. In fact, it's sold out of everything. It's a popular little place. The bakeries in the town aren't that happy, I'll be brutally honest. I'll let the guys, if they don't know what Greggs is, just type it in. It's a staple in the UK. I love Greggs, especially as driving around the country. It keeps you going. It's good stuff, isn't it? But I was thinking, we were talking so much about Christmas food, as in the sweet stuff. Christmas cake is one of my little problems in life, especially this time of year. But I'm going to do a bit of a controversial thing. And I know, I've got a feeling Chris is going to be going, horrible. I like a bit of cheddar on my Christmas cake. I'm not too keen on the old icing and marzipan and stuff. I do like it, but I do prefer a slab of cheddar. There you go. But my mince pies have to be lathered in brandy sauce, or just basically pouring alcohol all over them. That's all good stuff. So yes, it's that season. So we've got Christmas parties coming up galore with work. I'll be away next Saturday and the Saturday after that. Christmas parties with work and whatever. So I'm looking forward to that. It's going to get very silly. It's the time of year when you can actually say what you really think to people. But it's usually after a drink, and then you think, when you wake up the next day, you think, gosh, what did I say? What did I do? And you've got to live with it for the rest of the year. But it's all good fun. And I'm always joyous around Christmas. I like Christmas. And not forgetting, of course, HF, I'm going to get to play some radio because I'll have a few days off. Anyway, back to you, Chris.
Yeah, Mike 7 Charlie Sierra. Thanks very much there. That's all good there. You've got Endaf now saying he knows what a crunchy is. Oh, that's going to be a controversial one as well. We're going to go round to John. Well, no, we're not, because he's not in the Echolink. So we're going to go round to 2E0, W.D.R.G, James. Over to you there.
cake, and I skipped it a couple of years of recent because you get a bit bored sometimes doing the same thing every year. And I decided to do one this year, and it was absolutely fabulous. When it's cooking, they take a very long time to slow cook, and the smell was phenomenal. But yeah, that made me smile. The station there that said about the cheddar cheese, because my parents always used to swear by a slab of not quite a slab, but a fairly thick Stilton with Christmas cake. Said it was the best part of Christmas. So. That might make some people's toes curl, but actually, if you're brave enough to try a piece of Stilton cheese with the slice, actually on the slice of Christmas cake, it's surprising how well it does actually go together, believe it or not. But yeah, that made me smile. And on the subject of mince pies, you can actually, if you look up, if you're adventurous, if you look up mincemeat recipes, which are quite basic, really, it's sort of like mixed fruit that you can buy in a bag, and that suet, the suet you make dumplings with, and then it's just sort of some spices and some sugar, and what I tend to do is follow a bit of a recipe, but I tend to sort of mix a jar of shop-bought mincemeat in it, mix it in. So that you get a bit of one does what the other one doesn't do. And I had these little miniatures of brandies or something that I didn't care for, and I tipped one in, and it was quite phenomenal stuff when it was all done. So yeah, interesting stuff there with the Christmas cakes and Stolons. So I'll put it back to Chris from 2E0 VWJ in the group.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, thanks very much there, James. So we go back round to NDAF, if you're still with us, N6 UTC.
Yes, thanks, Chris. N6 UTC here. I'll say same for everybody. It's just nearly 10 to 1 in the afternoon here, so the day's still young. So even though it's November, outside right now is about 22, 23 degrees Celsius, and the sun is shining. But it's a dry heat though. Not a lot of humidity. It's very dry. My skin is cracking. Right. I'll say same to everybody, and I'll talk to you again, Chris. N6 UTC.
Yeah, not a problem there. Right, we'll go round to Darren now. Victor Papa 2 Victor / G7 Echo Mike Kilo. Round to you there, Darren. Okay, nothing heard from Darren there. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to have a little look. Right, we'll see if anybody does want to check in to the Wales Ragchew Net. Go ahead with your call sign, name and location. And an over. Okay, nothing heard, so it's up to the top of the list, and we're going to go back to Michael, Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo, India Papa. Rain to you there.
Well, thanks, Chris. This was Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo, India Papa. And on Thursday, after I celebrate my Thanksgiving celebration tradition, much like the Pilgrims back in the 1760s, I got up the next morning and went Black Friday shopping. I got me 2 radios from Amazon, because Amazon was back there in the Pilgrims time frame, and I bought me 2 little bitty radios, Arenas RT85 is just a little handheld dual band radio. Got a 2-pack of them for less than $30. That was their Black Friday sale at Amazon. I usually try to pick up a couple of those radios in case somebody gets a ham license during the year, and I can give them a radio to start their new hobby altogether. So that's what my tradition is. Buy a couple of cheap radios, and then maybe give them to somebody who gets their ham license. And that's my little way of giving back. So that was my whole entirety of Black Friday purchases for this year. So with that, I'll turn it back to you, Chris. We got several people on the net tonight. It's really good. With Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Thanks very much there, Michael. Next we're going to go round to K0 IJN, David in Colorado Springs. Rain to you there.
Yeah, thank you, Chris. K0IJN here. Well, I'm thinking back on the computer situation. I have two Dell Optiplex 780s, 87800s, PC computers. They both run Windows 10, but I use one as just strictly for ham radio software for all my digital modes and different things I do on that, as well as the DV7 MIDI that I have, and a couple other things. It runs my ICOM 7300 as well. And the other one is for just my personal use for pictures and social networks and all just general things. But I don't use anything for finance on my computers. I don't do any programming or anything, so I'm just going to live on my own, I think, and just run with Windows 10 as long as I can on them. I don't see any real need, I don't think, to upgrade to 11. So I'll just be a Levite, I think, and just run that as long as I can. So anyway, there's my story on the computer situation. My laptop is kind of dead, so I don't use it anymore. The smart TV I watch all my entertainment on, so I think I'm all set for a while anyway. We'll see how long it all lasts here. Anyway, back to you, Chris. K0IJN.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Thanks very much there, David. So we're going to go around to Steve now, GW5 VOG. Range to you there.
GW5 VOG returning. Thank you, Chris. Greg's. What can I say? Well, I live in the centre of Penarth. We've got a nice little shopping centre. About 100 yards from my front door is the Tesco Express. Open 7 in the morning till 11 at night. No, 6 in the morning till 11 at night, I think. We've got then a Domino's pizza place, and next door but one to that, a Subway. A little bit more elaborate than Greg's. Certainly more popular with youngsters, maybe. We've got a Co-op, small supermarket, and a Sainsbury's local. And then we've got a Greg's. It's very popular. We used to eat quite a lot of stuff from Greg's when our kids were little. You could get 12 mini pasties for 99p. And blimey, that would fill you up. So it was very, very good value, but extremely fatty and high in calories, I think. So we always had that impression that it wasn't very healthy food. So we don't eat Greg's now, but I have actually once since then one sort of side of a busy road, which was being frequented by lorry drivers, which seems to be the pattern outside town centres. And I had a sort of 6-inch sub, I think, from there, and it was very, very nice. So, and they had an amazing range of sandwiches and subs and stuff like that. So they have got a lot more healthy, I think. So, but we don't tend to partake of them ourselves anymore. But yeah, so holiday sort of rituals and that. The last, I think, 4 years, we go either on Christmas Day or Boxing Day to the beach at Barry Island, and it was quite disappointingly cold last year. But the 3 years before that, there were children building sandcastles sitting on the sand. It was so warm. So I'm hoping we might squeeze in a warm one this year. Got to get some good from global warming, haven't we? Anyway, okay, back to you then, Chris, M7CCS and W.D.R.G.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, thank you very much there, Steve. So we'll go round to Rod, G0EZ. Over to you there, Rod.
G0EZ. Coming right back, yeah. Oh, it's making me hungry, this. My favourite, Greg's, is the pepper steak slices. They're brilliant, them. And pepper is one of the triggers that sets my mouth problems off, which is unfortunate. But if I get near a Greg's, I've got to have one, whether or not. Well, two, actually. So, and I'll suffer the consequences. So there we go. What else was that? Yeah, David, yeah, I see what you're saying about, let the Windows 10 run. I might just do that quite right. The only trouble is, if there's a weakness there and they get into your network, obviously they can go wherever they want then, past that one machine. I mean, most of my stuff is done on Apple stuff. Most of my banking and stuff like that is done on Apple. But of course, if they get into your network, then I suppose the vulnerability is there. I mean, we've got to bear in mind that these people get into governments, don't they? And I was reading somewhere about a satellite that appears to have been moved. A defunct satellite has been moved from sitting over India to sitting over South America. Nobody knows who did it or how they did it, but they've done it. So there we go. It is entirely possible then. With they're very clever people, aren't they? They're much cleverer than thee and me. But there we go. So I'll keep it short, because we'll be going 7-3s, won't we, shortly? So back to you, Chris, and 7CCS of the group, G0EZ.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, thanks very much there, Rod. So, we're going to go, we call for Daryl again, M0XDR, and see if he's about. He might not be around anymore. Yeah, if you are there, Daryl, round to you. Okay, nothing heard there from Daryl. We'll go round to MW0GSR.
Thanks very much, Chris. All good stuff. Loads of interesting chat on, and I'm still not gone out, so I'm doing all right. Yeah, memories of Greg's and feeding children. I totally concur. Quick story. In York, on holiday with the 5 youngsters a couple of years ago, we were doing so much sightseeing, we forgot to feed the children. And Greg saved the day. Because there was loads of them all over York. I couldn't believe it. Every corner you turned, there was Greg's. Well, there you go. Yeah, I did see about that satellite run. I was having a good chat with a friend of mine. So, very odd, isn't it? A defunct satellite all of a sudden moving and nobody can tell you how. It was a really good story on the BBC newscasting all about it. I thought it was really interesting. But no, apart from that, all good stuff. Oh, we're just plodding along. Loads of good stories about food and things like that. And what's the other thing I was thinking? Of course, Michael, that's a really good thing that you do there. And it's a tradition. I'm going to ask you again, is it a tradition that you do? Buying a couple of radios and giving it out to the newbies, the new guys that are just starting out. That's really good. In all fairness, in this particular area, we don't have that many new guys coming on the radio. But as a group, W.D.R.G, you never know. That's a really good idea. Perhaps we could make a little fund. But I've got to say, I haven't done any Black Friday shopping. I really should, because I can get away with it. Because I can just use the excuse, well, it was cheaper than it normally is. So then I could buy something that I wouldn't normally be allowed to buy. Chris, back to you before I get in straw.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Thanks very much there. You won't get into trouble. Yeah, I'm looking down my list there, and looking after you there. So, yeah, we'll give a call for John, Kilo Fox. No, he's not there, is he? It was via Echolink, wasn't it? Yep, and no need to do that call. So what we will do is we will call for James 2E0 W.V.J.
VWJ returning in the group. Yes, that was a nice little touch that I thought, buying those radios, particularly when they are on offer, and giving them away to new hams further down the line. A sort of a way of giving back. It reminded me of a little story of a time when I went to Florida many years ago, and I was camping in the Keys. And bumped into this quite eccentric elderly lady that was into helping people and giving out, as it were. And we sort of got into the habit of giving stuff away. We got a barbecue we didn't need and we gave it away. And my parents, if you give out, it comes back. And stuff kept coming back. We couldn't sort of give it away quick enough. It was really quite strange. And when we flew out, it was like a night flight and everyone was sleeping, and I ordered I think it was a gin and tonic. It was in the days when there was this sort of quite special service, I think, on the flight. And after I'd had this couple of gin and tonics, the flight attendant came and gave me this carrier bag full of like miniature bottles of gin and said, "Oh, just stuff this in your luggage. I don't suppose you get away with that today." But so stuff was still coming back. So it was really weird. So yeah, good on the guy though with giving out the radios, and maybe the story is helpful there. So I'll pass it back to you, Chris, from 2E0 VWJ.
Yep, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Thanks very much there, James. Endas already said 7-3. We'll, and of course, Darren, we didn't hear from him again. So what we'll do is we will go up and we will do the 7-3 round. So if you'd like to take your last overs and your 7-3. So we go round to Michael, Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa.
Thank you, Chris. It's Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa. And Simon, actually was the second Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa, who was a friend of mine. I took his call sign in a memorial to him. His policy used to be, if he had friends and family, if any of them would get their first cam license, he would buy them their very first handy-talkie, their very first HD. So I kind of took it as a thing upon me I know some clubs, some ham radio clubs do this if they have a person that gets their very first license and gives them their very first radio. And that's kind of what I do. I have, you can buy, like say, Black Friday, you can have a cheap radio and then have it standing by. I got the two that I got this weekend programmed, ready to go for the repeaters in our area. I give it to them, and if they have any questions, I'll work with them and get them a basic understanding of the radio and let them go to town on it. Okay, that wrapped up. Great net today. So much good information from everybody around. Glad to hear everybody on the net, and hopefully we'll meet again next Saturday. Everybody have a great week. 73 from Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa.
Yep, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Yep, 7-3 to you there, Michael. Yeah, we'll do our best to have a great week, and of course everyone else has got to do their best to have a great week. So we go round to KE0IJN, David in Colorado Springs, for your 7-3.
All right. Well, thanks so much for running the net there, Chris. You do a wonderful job at it, and really enjoy the net whenever I can make it. So anyway, I had a good time listening to everybody, what they're up to, and hopefully I'll make it here next week, but no guarantees. But anyway, thanks again, Chris. Well, have a good Christmas. If I don't see you before then, we probably will. So anyway, you all have a good one, and we'll talk to you later. This thing's RGN with 73.
Yep, 7-3 to you there, David, and we'll catch you again. So we'll go to GW5 VOG, Steve, for your last over and 7-3.
GW5 VOG returning. Thank you, Chris. So 73 to everybody. It's been a really good net tonight. Very varied, lots of food as usual. My biggest takeaway of the night, and I'm really looking forward to trying this actually, when I get my Christmas. Christmas cake, and you always have lots of cheese and quite a bit of Christmas cake at Christmas, so I'll have the raw ingredients, as it were. Anyway, 73 to everyone across the world. We had British Virgin Islands. I think that's got to be a first for the W.D.R.G net. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's quite exotic sounding. I think it's in there. Yeah. 73 to everyone. Thanks for being net controller, Chris. Look after yourselves, everybody, and see you next week, hopefully. So, M7CCS from GW5 VOG, back to you.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Thanks very much there, Steve. So next we go round to Rod for his last over and 7-3.
Geez, is returning for the last time? Yeah, it has been a great net. Thanks for sitting in on it, Chris, as usual. Doing a fine job. And yes, I'm looking forward to some Christmas cake with cheese. I'm definitely up for that. So, yeah, the only trouble I have is my wife always takes the icing sugar, the icing and the marzipan off the top anyway. So, we're going to have a lot of icing and marzipan lying around afterwards. So there we go. Anyway, 7-3s, everybody. Have a good week. And hopefully we'll catch you next week. M7CCS, G0EUZ. Good night, everybody.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, yep, 7-3 there. And, yeah, I'm going to call for Simon now, MW0GSR for his 7-3. He might not be there, judging by the picture. Yeah, oof, expensive. Here it comes. So, yeah, it's GSR.
Yes, thank you, Chris. We've got a local, well, we've got many caravan and motorhome places around here, being where we are, but this one is a particularly large one, and oof is the right word. Can you go and switch the alarms off? No, because the alarm's in ash. It's already burnt down. Oh dear, never mind. Well, thanks, Michael. I'm now on Amazon. I've gone through all the Amazon stuff. And you can't. Yeah, right. You can't have the cheese while the icing and marzipan's on the cake. It just doesn't work. But everybody will be up there. But Barra Beef as well, the Welsh delicacy that it is also good with a bit of cheese as well. There you go, another good thing. But, it's all good. Well, it's been a pleasure, and everybody sounded great tonight. No issues at all. And like you say, Chris, hopefully have a great week. Hopefully we'll catch up next weekend. I won't be around. It's Christmas party time. So I may be having a slight gin and tonic or a Red Bull and vodka. We'll see. My favourite tipples, but that's another story. I'm not into beer anymore. I don't know why. Getting old. Back to you, Chris. 7-3 from myself and all the family. MW0GSR here in little old Portsmouth.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, yeah, 7-3 to you there, Simon. And, of course, yeah, now we're going to go round to 2E0 Victor Whiskey Juliet James, via WiresX PDM mode. On his, well, no, he's not on his boat now. You never know with him whether he's on his boat or not. But, yeah, it's all good there. Round to you there, James, for your last over, and 7-3.
VWJ for a final. Yes, nice to be welcoming the group this evening. And I think Greg's is going to be busy tomorrow. Everybody rushing off to get something to eat after it's been. And of course a slice of cake with the cheese on is going to be going down quite well, I should think. Yes, I'll say 7-3s, and you've done a good job there, Chris. And I'll catch you next week from 2E0 VWJ.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, yep, 7-3 there to you, James. And, of course, yeah, I've still got the log up, and there's one I forgot to mark out, but, yeah, that's going to be me, so I'm going to say 7-3 to everybody. And, in the net tonight, we had Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa. We had KE0, IJN, David. We had GW5, VOG. He was our timeout king. He was our timeout king, as I said, so there it goes. Of course, yeah, we had G0EZ, M0XDR. We had MW0GSR. We had 2E0 Victor Whiskey Juliet, James, so I've got to get that up there. N6UTC, and of course, yeah, we had Victor Papa 2, Victor stroke G7EMK, Darren. So, 7-3 all. I've been Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, and of course, yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, thanks for watching. And of course, don't forget Cities Net's M7AMH on a Monday and a Wednesday. I'm not too sure. I think Wednesday might be the missed one. But yeah, I think there will be one on a Monday. And yeah, I'm going to hold it out. I'm not getting a ping saying that's wrong. So, yeah, 7-3 all, and catch you all later down the log.